Yeah, welcome back, folks. So I actually didn't plan on doing a video today, but going through some of the going through basically the standard Magic the Gathering stuff. I check like the articles every day, just to see what's going on. I saw the Mark Rosewar comment about War of the Spark. I'm like, wait, what? Because I remember seeing that before. I'm like, so wait, did I miss something? Did they actually confirm the set name after? It's like, okay, yeah, they did legitimately confirm the set name after Ravnica Legion. It's War of the Spark, which, it's as they describe for the storyline, it's, the storyline will involve the fight between the Gatewatch and Nicol Bolas. The fight turns out into an all-out Planeswalker war. Dozens of powerful Planeswalkers from many disparate realities unite against the Elder Dragon, who has claimed dominion over Ravnica and is perilously close to completing the spell that will grant him his godhood. As they fight alongside the Gatewatch, led by Chandra Nolanar, Jace Barrett, and Gideon Jura, against Bolas and his relentless Eternals, nothing less than the fate of the universe as its stake. See, that sentence, though, didn't make sense. I'm guessing they mean the guilds. Little do they know, little do the Gatewatch suspect that Bolas has not only accounted for the interference, but he is practically relying on it. Alright, so and we do have some advertisement on a token card showing Lilliana and Gideon there. Gideon even wielding the Black Blade, which says a lot. Now, there's a lot we can speculate on, which is what we're here to do today. First and foremost, the store. I mean, normally we'd be getting four story spotlight cards. I'm thinking we might go up to 5 in this one. I don't know. Have they given a set size? No, they've just given not even a true release. It's just April. April. The set symbol is apparently just magic. Interesting. It's just an M. I would have thought it'd be something cooler than that, but oh well. A set symbol, and yeah. So I don't know if this might be a slightly larger set than normal. Who knows? Maybe. It's still 16 card booster packs though. So I'm thinking we might get anywhere from 4. We're probably going to get at least 4, maybe 5 story spotlight cards. Also, the characters. We know that there is the Gatewatch. We have Jace, Chandra, Gideon. Teferi, we know, is also now a member of the Gatewatch. We know Karn and Jaya are also going to be showing up there. We also know Lilliana is going to be there. Vraska, Doven, basically all the Gatewatch. Vraska, Ral, Doven, Bond, Domir, Kaya. Tezzeret's probably also going to be there, I'd imagine. We know Liliana's going to be there. Right out the gate, that's what here? We got 6. That is over a dozen planes, not even including Bolas and whoever else might show up in the storyline. So that's a lot going over. So the first up, the questions that are on hand right now are, what's going to happen in the story, which I'm going to emphasize with the story spotlight segment. Who do I think is going to die? Because right off the gate, or right off the bat, I do think there are going to be Planeswalkers that are characters that are dying in this. We're not going to be seeing some characters again. So who is it going to be? Well, here's first off from who I think is going to die. I think the characters are say Jace, because he's a poster boy, and there's honestly more stories you can tell with him, like him regaining his memories, going back to his home plane of Viren. Chandra just had a reunion with her mom, learned more about we'll call it firebending, it's pyromancy, from Jaya, so I think she's good to live too. I think Karn is fine, because he's still going to try to go back to Phyrexia and stop them. I think Kaya's going to live, because Kaya isn't an inherently evil character, and she's got good intentions. I think she's going to be okay. Vraska is a little up in the air, but I do believe Vraska will live because she is a sleeper agent. We know that. Jace is going to be able to bring her back to form. And, bring her back to speed. And who knows, maybe we can explore our relationship between the two. I think Domir is going to win simply because he's a young kid Planeswalker. I do think that. He's young, and he's not inherently evil. He's just tired of the downtrodden and, being bullied around. So I think he's good to live too. And Tezzeret, if he shows up, I think there's more we can do with Tezzeret, so that's fine. I think also Ajani's going to be joining us in this, at least in the story. He'll be joining us, so maybe he'll be around, and I think he'll be fine because there's more you can do with Ajani. Characters who, I'll be honest, I don't think they're going to live. Like, who I dare... Because there's 3 segments. Who I think is going to live, who I think is going to die, and who's up in the air. I think Gideon dies in this. They really haven't been able to find a core idea to do with Gideon. Because Gideon's from Theros. He never showed up in Theros. Yeah, he could go back to Theros, but what's the point of him going back to Theros to try to get revenge on, say, Erebos? Did they think the Black Blade would be good enough to kill, strong enough to kill a god? I don't think it would be. And frankly, they just... I think him falling against Bolas, trying to do his best, maybe falling to the Black Blade, would be a fitting way for him. It's still going out protecting you, but fitting way for him to die. I also think Jaya's gonna die. Or is it Jaya? Jaya? Jayla? I think it's Jaya. Anyway, Hansel. I think she's dead. One, she's an old walker. She's a character we finally got a card for. She's an old character, she's been around for a while, but she's been around for a while. And she's passed on the knowledge to Sean. Sean has got a lot of years to go before she's as good as I'm going to call firebending as Jaya is. But at the same time, she can grow. We know she can grow. She has the potential, and Jaya saw that in her. So, frankly, I think she's a prime candidate for also biting it. I think Rao's a goner. There's no real story. I mean, we'll see what story significance he has ultimately when we actually read the stories. But there's no real story significance to it that much. And I'm actually going to click on the Ravnica, because the first paperback novel they've done in ages is for the Ravnica 2000 novel, or 2019 novel. So when is this coming out? April 23rd. Nice. I'm looking forward. I'm almost looking forward to it. It's been a long time since I had a chance to read paperback novels of this. And there's a sequel in fall. Yeah, you better believe I'm going to be enjoying this. Yeah. I'm excited for this now. Anyway, I digress. So, and unless I read something different in the novelizations or the stories, I don't see a lot of potential for Rao. Neither for Doven I see as a prime candidate for dying. He just comes off as a pretentious dick who has death coming, who has a real comeuppance coming to him. So I think death is pretty much at his door. And those are the ones I think are guaranteed to die. Now, there are 4 characters, and I'm going to bring up the 4th later on. Because the 4th is one that there's no guarantee that they're going to be in the set. But I have there's just a weird suspicion in the back of my mind that maybe this character will show up. Anyway, first up is Tepir. He just got an oath card. We know he fought against Bolas and lost terribly. His words, not ours. We know that he's a time mage. He's got time manipulation powers. I don't see him dying, but it's possible he could. Lilliana, see, I won't be surprised one way or the other if Lilliana gets killed, because Lilliana has always been a bit out. Granted, we know there is a good side to Lilliana. There is a side that does generally care on some level for Jace and some people in some aspects, but ultimately, she's a very self-centered character. It's just always been about her, and Bolas tricked her, and now she has to work for him. I envision one of the story spotlights, we're going to get something to do with that story arc. Either her being killed, or her turning turncoat and being... I'm getting a strong suspicion she might not make it out of here. I am getting a strong suspicion of that, because frankly, her demons are killed. The whole focus of her story is done. It's very possible that she might not make it out of this. And I won't be surprised if we see that. But the last person on the list is the big man himself, is Nico Bolas. Does Bolas... Because here's the thing. Are we going to see Bolas even defeated? I feel that we are going to see Bolas defeated. I also feel like we're going to get another Bolas. Which is fine by me. I love Bolas. He is one of my favorite planeswalkers. Just because he's a freaking dragon. Same with Ugin. Ugin's one of my favorite because it's just a badass... He's a dragon planeswalker. It's awesome. But yeah, it's. I feel like now. Here's the thing. They say there's another novel coming out for fall. Does that mean that the War of the Spark ends with Bolas winning? Maybe Ravnica gets saved, but he ultimately gets what he wants and goes into like a hibernated state for God knows how many sets in the future before he awakens as God Bolas once again. Maybe that's something that happens. It's very possible. I just get a suspicion that Bolas will probably be defeated. Now, whether or not he dies is the question. So that leads us into the story spotlight and introducing the secret character I think might show up and maybe what happens at the end of the story. No guarantee. So, first off, we have to establish in the set Bolas actually arriving on Ravnica. I think that is the first major story spotlight card. Then we're going to get a spotlight card of Planeswalkers duking it out. Probably something to do with Lilliana as well. The Vraska turn is going to be another story spotlight card. And then after that, you're probably going to get, if there's 4, you're going to get the Bolas defeat or win, whatever it may be. If there's 5, then you're going to get Bolas near completion of his plan. But if there's a 5th one, you're going to get the defeat of Bolas, assuming he's defeated. Now, if he is defeated, killed, whatever it may be, how does it happen? Is it Vraska? No, I don't. I actually, I would have initially thought so, but when I read that synopsis that Bolas is actually planning on the intervention of the Gatewatch and everyone, that sounds like he may know about some things that they don't think he knows about, like the fact that she's a sleeper agent. Who knows? But I'm going to throw... Now, this is a wild, wild theory. Not complete, but it's not. I don't think it's completely unfounded. And I'm not saying this is what's going to happen. If I ever put $10 on it, I don't think it's going to happen. It is a little outlandish. I'm going to say this. There is another Planeswalker who may rival Bolas in power. And that's his brother, Ugin. Remember, we learned in the Bolas Chronicles during the M19 stories that Ugin and Bolas are brothers. They were created at the same time, born at the same time. And unlike all the other Elder Dragons, which had 2 names, what was it? The Elder Dragons of Magic the Gathering. What were their names again? Chromium something or other. Give me 1 second here. Elder Dragons. MTG. Alright. Elder Dragons. Okay. Arcadius Saboth. Chromium Rule. Nicobola. Ugin. Valvitius Asmadi. Palladium Moors. There were a couple other ones that died. But all of them were born with 2 names. And Ugin and Bolas were not. It was, or was it? Oh crap! Wasn't he born as Nicol or Bolas? No, I think he was born as Nicol. That's right. He was Nicol, and it was Nicol and Ugin. So yeah, it's one of those things that. Were they actually the same dragon at one point? Was it possible that Ugin and Nicol was actually Ugin or something along those lines, or Ugin Bolas? I mean, if they were to fuse together, they'd probably gonna. But could the theoretical end be Ugin shows up, Bolas being one of the very few planeswalkers who Bolas actually perceived as a legitimate threat, shows up, and through his intervention, Bolas gets his godhood, but we end up losing both Ugin and Bolas, and an ultimate new dragon planeswalker emerges as the merged dragon between the 2 of them, being benevolent. He wouldn't be evil. He wouldn't be Bolas for certain, but he wouldn't be Ugin either. There'd be a blend of the 2 characters, and you'd get the full realization of that power. He being the kind of an omnipotent god almost, but being generally okay with being like, look, it's like, all right, sorry about that. And using, showing off some of his power, just restoring Ravnica. And there you go for a Return to Ravnica number 4, years down the road, mind you. Restoring Ravnica, the plane, how it should have been. Raising some of the oceans a bit. getting rid of all the decrepit land and replace. See, I once had this idea for like a spell of magic that would replace all like the decrepit, worn down buildings with actual forest and fauna and rivers and mountains again. Having Ravnica no longer be one giant guild, one giant plane of just a city, but actually having the place, having the world back to a balance. I could see this character doing something like that because he'd be that powerful. Is that going to happen? Putting the right money on it? No. I put $5 on it. No, it's not happening. Would that be awesome as hell in my mind to see happen? Absolutely. Because then you don't lose either character. You ultimately win still by having this new awesome dragon character who could show up years down the line. And I'm talking years because he's frankly not. He'd be too powerful. There'd need to be a big story where he's like, Emrakul comes out, is reactivating it, and you see him duke it out with Emrakul. Well, there's a lot that can go down. Now, again, I'm guaranteeing we're going to see the death of a couple characters because they've said future stories are going to lean a lot towards the Gatewatch. Or we're going to lean a good portion away from the Gatewatch. Not every story has to be about the Gatewatch. So we could see, like, they're talking about a North set being a definite down the road, and I'm down for that. That'd be a perfect way to go about. They're like, we'd still have characters we probably know in there, like maybe Ishani visits this plane, and it's like, okay, it's a North set, he's visiting it, cat people, whatever. So it makes sense that we might see a couple Gatewatch members die. And we're probably going to see a bunch of other characters. Like, they say we're going to have, over a dozen Planeswalker characters. I guarantee you a quarter of those characters are going to die. Like, 4 of those dozen are going to die. Which would definitely slim down the roster right there. Because we have a lot of Planeswalkers right now. And I think it would make sense to slim it down some. And that is a great way of doing it. So that's my thoughts on what we might get for War Spark. Right now it's still February. This set doesn't come out to April. So we're not even going to get any minor spoilers of it until at least mid-March. And we don't even know when the actual date for the release is right now. So when we find that out, we'll have a better idea of when the spoiler seasons are going to start. When we might get some minor spoilers. We'll find out what happens there. But anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. And if you have an idea for a superhero, anything I do on the channel, be it magic, superhero, what if, who wins superhero, magic, what if, Star Wars, anything I do on the channel, put in the comments below, let me know. So we got what if, who would win on Tuesday, along with the Death Battle prediction, because the actual Death Battle comes out on Wednesday, the season starts. Aquaman versus Namor, you know where my money stands on for the guessing, for the prediction. And then Thursday, everything will be awesome. Lego Movie 2, which I'm hearing it's good. It's good, which is all I really wanted to be at minimum. It's good. And then I'll probably catch Cold Pursuit. I'll catch at least 2 movies over the weekend. Or over the week, Thursday's release, and then over the weekend I'll catch another film. Then Tuesday I'll probably end up catching another one of the movies that came out in the week. Probably What Men Want, because I have no... Of the 4... Although The Prodigy looks like it's probably a better movie, I'm not a horror guy, so it's at least easier for me to talk about a bad comedy than... Well, it's probably easier for me to talk about a bad horror movie, because I can talk about, plot instead of just why jokes didn't work for me. But we'll see what happens. It probably will be What Men Want, because I can't always see good movies. I have to see as many movies as I can to make this channel relevant in my mind. In my opinion. Anyway, I digress. So thanks for watching. I'll see you later, folks.